Hi everyone, my name's Britton Klein and welcome to this week's edition of Marketing Minutes by Scuba Diving Industry Magazine.
And I'm William Klein, the publisher, and welcome to our show. And if you're a dive company out there and you want to talk to the industry, reach out to Britton or I and we'll get you on this show.
That's right.
So Britton, who do we have today?
Yes, this week's special guest is Bill Cole, owner of Sea Experience and a former colleague of yours, if I can remember correctly, back in the pro dive days. That was a while back. But Bill, welcome to the show. We're honored to have you.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today, Bill. We go way back, and I mean way back, and I think we might even have a photo here shot sometime in the mid '80s. Bill and your wife Susan, and me down below there, and then on the left we have Greg and Lauren, and let's see, Nelson's hiding behind the bar there, and Alex has got the red hat on, and Debbie, right? It's pretty funny. That's a great shot. Yeah, we go way back. That was on the Pro Diver 2, I think, right?
It was, and now the Pro Diver 2 lives over there.
It lives there. So we were just at the operation doing diving a couple of weeks back, and that was, we didn't go from that boat. We used one of their other boats, but it was kind of nostalgic seeing it sitting there at the dock,
Yeah.
That's
that was good times.
Yeah, good times, that's for sure.
That's so awesome. Well, so Bill, just to kind of jump into things, Sea Experience offers a really comprehensive total immersion program that it takes students from a beginner to all the way to a professional level. In your own words, maybe how does this program differentiate Sea Experience in the competitive scuba training market, and what advantages do you think it might provide to the aspiring dive professionals out there as well?
Good question.
Thanks.
Well, I don't want to sound corny, but we immerse our students in real world and the workings of the dive industry. We're like a trade school for diving. We prepare students for a job in the scuba industry.
Well, that's
Sea Experience. Yeah, Sea Experience, we're a 5-star career development center. We're licensed through the Commission of Independent Education through the Florida State Department of Education. Wow. And we're also, because of that, approved for VA educational benefits.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's amazing. And in fact, that's one of our questions to talk about, the VA benefits, right?
Absolutely.
So how has the VA benefit initiative really impacted your company and the broader veteran dive community?
Absolutely.
Well, we love our veterans. They seem to thrive in our atmosphere. I'm not a doctor, but a lot of them tell us that it's very therapeutic for them to go diving. Veterans using Chapter 30, 31, 33, which is post 9/11, or 35, are eligible to apply and enroll for the professional scuba development program that we have at Sea Experience. Wow. While enrolled, the veterans can also receive housing and meal allowance, which they call BAH. The veterans in our area receive about $3,300 monthly, which is pretty nice for housing. And we have an excellent career administrator named Jane Haas. She's been working with the CIE and VA for over 30 years. I know you guys probably know her.
Yeah.
She's very dedicated to helping the vets and help them take full benefit, full advantage of their educational benefits.
Absolutely.
We're also approved through the state of Florida for vocational rehabilitation. And when people are done with their training, we offer a very rigorous job placement program for them.
That's amazing.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Not only does it sound like you love the vets, but it sounds like you're doing a lot to take care of them as well, which is amazing. But the EcoPro training and resort operations specialist programs are proprietary offerings to developed by Sea Experience. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit on how these programs address the evolving needs of the dive industry and maybe even prepare students for real-life challenges?
Yeah, the resort operations specialist is a fully encompassing career training, and it's often copied by other schools, but never equaled to ours. It's also copyrighted, but it includes EcoPro, which is an environmental program developed by Alex Brilski, fill station operations, gas blending, basic boat maintenance, boat handling, including docking and anchoring, which is always exciting, leading groups in the water, store duties, including the point of sale. We do tank cleaning and VIP, and even equipment repairs. They receive 12 different specialty instructor ratings through this program, so it really prepares them for what happens is then when these people are placed, it eliminates a lot of the training that the resort or the dive shop has to do to bring this person up to speed.
Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah, I know that in the past when I was working with Stuart Cove over in Nassau, we hired a few of your candidates that went through that program, and they were always the hottest prospects because they came to the boat, they knew how to handle a boat, they knew how to. They were already trained deck mates, which is so important. Most instructors end up being that if they're working in a tropical resort environment. So it's a really cool program, and kind of connects the gap between the official PADI training and then actually being a functional person, a staff member at that resort or dive shop might be. So speaking of diving, I'm lived in Fort Lauderdale. We've dove together. There's some incredible shipwrecks down there. You've got great reef diving. Tell me a little bit about how, if someone goes through your program, like when I did the program there, it was obviously a different company, but the same general location, a lot of the same dive sites. But tell us, do the candidates get an opportunity to do some fun diving as well?
They do a lot of diving. They're diving almost every day. And people don't usually think of Fort Lauderdale as a scuba diving place to go scuba diving, but as you know, it's world-class diving. We have many shipwrecks, and we're on a section of the South Florida Reef Track that offers, diving between the 10-foot and 120-foot depth range. Wow. In our area, the wrecks and the reefs are most all of them are within 2 miles of shore because deep, farther than that, it gets too deep really quick, over 200 feet. So it's a relatively short boat ride to get to the dive sites. Most of our sites are within 20 minutes of the inlet. And I like to exhibit in the dive shows to promote the diving there because, it's fun to tell people about the diving there. And they're always like, wow, Fort Lauderdale, wow. And I like to tell them also that it's easy to dive in Fort Lauderdale because you fly into the airport in Fort Lauderdale, it's only a 10-minute cab ride or Uber over to the dive shop, and you don't even need a car. You can just hang out. Everything's in one spot. You don't need a passport, and you can drink the water. So
yeah, that's amazing.
But the diving is really world class.
And I hear you have some very unique sites. One in particular that I've read about called Willie's Way.
Yeah, I was going to say something like that. That's named. Yeah, so William, I guess I'll call you William.
You can call me Willie. It's okay.
Because William wanted to take students down, in a place where there was sand. And I'm like, well, I'm good at finding the reef, but you're asking me to find the sand. I mean, that's kind of against my religion, so to speak. But we finally found a spot, you came to the surface and said, this is it, So we hit a spot where there was a nice big circle of sand, for all the students to kneel down in, and that became Willie's Way. I even have a street up in North Carolina named Willie's Way that's near me. So.
That's so fun. So, as I recall, we were on the glass bottom boat. We had it out and we were looking, and I think I saw it we just zoomed by and wait a minute. And it was really kind of history, but you came up and said, you watch, that name's going to stick. And I'm like, yeah, right. Sure enough, it's there. So it's so true, Bill.
It is still there. It's in the books.
So tell us a little about what is some of your most favorite dives. I mean, I like Tinaco Towers is kind of one for me, and Mercedes, of course, was great. I guess it got broke up a little bit, but it's still a fabulous direct dive. What are some of your favorite spots?
Well, just to give you an idea how, you never know what you're going to see when you're diving. And you've been on Hammerhead Reef, I think, and I don't know if you guys got to see the video that I posted on YouTube. But
June, can you bring it up? It's towards the end of the video. We'll put it up here in just a second here while he's talking. Go ahead.
It's incredible. But we're swimming along, and that's not the one there. But
it's right
anyway,
at the very end.
We're swimming
there
along,
it is, right
and
there.
I hear a commotion. There we go. And I turn around, and here's this 10-foot tiger shark swimming by me. And I've been diving a long time, and this is the first tiger shark I've ever seen in the water. And it looked like maybe she was pregnant and had remoras all over her, but swam right over by me. And I was chasing it at this point, trying to get a video with my camera. And on the same dive, that other video with the turtle, that's the same dive. I mean, you just never know. In fact, it was funny when I got on the boat, everybody's like, oh, you got to airdrop that. So And then I think I was high for a week, after being able to having the privilege of swimming with that big shark. It was amazing.
Definitely.
Oh, that's amazing. I've been in a situation where they feed them, like in Bimini, but that's different when you're free swimming right with and they're monsters underwater. They're so huge. They're really intimidating,
Oh, it was huge. And, as people say, oh, weren't you scared? But it was funny. I did not feel even a thought like that because of the way the shark reacted. It was almost just completely ignoring me, and trying to get by me. And in fact, it was funny. The remoras were more attentive to me, and about 5 of them came over and tried to hang with me. While,
that's pretty funny.
I was chasing the sharks, and I don't like those things. I don't like them. I like the tiger shark better than the remoras.
That's pretty funny. Well, Bill, thanks for being on our show. This has been a lot of fun and great kind of stroll down memory lane. We're about 160 days to the DEMA show, which is just really remarkable that we're that good. It's right up on us. I think 5 issues or so to go.
Right.
So if you're a dive shop out there and you're looking for a destination within the United States to take a group, contact Bill or Colin, and they'll set you up. It's a great place. They got tons and tons of housing options all around there, hotels, and plus his sites are super close. But I hear the sites are just about to get a little bit closer because you're moving them closer. Oh wait, you're moving yourself closer. Tell us about what's in store for Sea Experience.
Well, yeah, Bahia Mar is going to go through a major renovation, which will probably take, I would think, 3 or 4 years. But we're moving closer to the inlet. We're going to be at the newly renovated. They just put $1 billion into the property, Pier 66, which is so. Then our ride to the ocean literally is 5 minutes.
Oh my
gosh! We leave the dock. We're pretty much in the ocean. Yeah.
On the other side of the bridge. How nice is that? I mean, that's great. Boy, what a great, and that's going to cut at least 15 or 20 minutes out of it, right? Each way.
It cuts out a solid 15 minutes both directions. Yeah. So half an hour.
So you're talking,
just cruising down the intercoastal time,
which gives you more time for diving.
It gives us more dive time. That's for sure.
Exactly. So, Britton, who do we got lined up for our next episode?
Yes. So, our next episode, we're going to have Sven Harms on, the marketing director of Sea Life Cameras, for a chat about their dive cameras and dive camera housings.
That's pretty cool.
So stay tuned for that conversation. It'll be very fun.
One last thing I wanted to mention to you, Bill. On your website, I noticed that you're a Green Star approved PADI Dive Center. Can you just take a minute and tell our audience a little bit about that before we wrap up here?
Sure. We really care about the environment. We've taken some steps in our business to help protect it. Probably the most noticeable to our customers is we won't give out bottled water anymore. Some are not very happy about that, but it was amazing the number of bottles we were using every day. So we've eliminated that, got a water cooler, the cone cups. We do sell the little reusable aluminum bottles with our logo on it, but we sell those for cost. We don't make a dime on those. And there's a lot of other things. We watch what we use when we clean the boat. We do lots of reef cleanups. We just had a cleanup for World Oceans Day, and the divers brought up 48 pounds of trash on the dives. So I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah, we do a lot of those.
That's very cool. Well, thanks again, Bill, for being with us on this show. Absolutely. And Britton, I think that's going to be a wrap for today. Again, reach out to Bill Cole if you're interested in doing, or Colin if you want to do a group trip, or if you got a dive master candidate, or you got somebody that wants to go become an instructor. It's a great place to do it. That's where I did my certification many, many moons ago.
That's right. Give me a shout.
We had the 80s headbands, even like we saw Greg on right there. That's pretty funny. All right. Well, that's going to be it. Thanks again. Thanks, Bill, for coming on. And I guess we'll see you at DEMA in just about 5 months.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm going to be part of the treasure hunt this year. I'm excited. I got in early enough. So
great.
You guys, everybody come by and see us at our booth.
Absolutely. We'll see you there.
Okay.